Faith is easy when everything's going right. But what about when it's not? What about when you're really sick, when you're suffering, when you're in pain, and when nothing's changing, even though you're trying? Faith is easy when you start to get a lift, right? When everything starts to go your way. It's when you're at your lowest. It's when things are at their hardest. That's truly when faith becomes real. And the thing about faith that most people don't understand is that you're not focusing on a faith outside of you, right? You're not putting your faith in something or someone outside of you. Faith is when you call back your power and when you have faith in yourself. So good morning. It's Lisa with Lisa Heal Yourself. And today I want to talk about what faith really means when you're suffering with chronic illness. So if you resonate with today's video, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more videos about healing. So, faith is not about crossing your fingers and hoping. It's not about wishing, it's not about praying, and it's not even about giving your power to God. Like, a lot of people say faith is laying everything down at Jesus or God's feet. That's not the way I see faith, and that is not the way that faith pulled me through my healing journey. Because for me, it's not about praying, like sending a letter up to the heavens or outside to God and giving all my power away in hopes that God or in hopes that the universe hears my prayers and does something to answer them, right? Sends me this miracle from outside myself. That is not the way I see God or faith working. Because for me, when I was at my lowest, I did beg, I did pray, I did plead, I did ask God to, make this go away, to help me, to send me signs, to do something, to step in, right? To intervene. I was praying and I was begging every single day. But I didn't realize as I was doing that I was putting the power, in something or someone else's hands outside of me. And God gave us free will. God intends for us, right? He gave us our soul, our spirit. God intends to work through us. We are the instrument in which God works through. And so putting faith back out there is not what God intended us to do. It's not how He can create miracles for us. He needs to create miracles through us, right? We are the instrument of that faith. So when I started to take back my own power, and when I started to see faith as a decision, that faith isn't waiting and hoping and praying. Faith is remembering what's already true, who I already am, right? Faith is knowing that I have the power, bringing back the power within me, right? My soul to create, to move, to do, to think, all of the things that I need to move, think, be, come in order to create, because we create our own miracles. We create the reality, like the prayer granted. We have to do that through our actions, through our beliefs. God's expecting us to create our very own faith, and He uses us as we are the own instrument to our own result through our faith. Our faith is the instrument in which the result can come. And it's not because we give our power outside of ourselves and we lay everything down at God's feet and say, you do it for us. God's like, no, I gave you a body, I gave you a mind, I gave you a heart, and I gave you a soul. You must do it. You must create it in your own life. And so faith is knowing and believing that we create our own miracles, that we create our own healing, that we are the very instrument of our own healing. And this is exactly what Neville Goddard and the Law of Assumption and all the New Age spirituality is also saying, right? That faith is a loyalty to the unseen. So faith, even if you're looking at it in the eyes of God or in the eyes of the universe, is truly this loyalty to the unseen reality that we want. And when I realized that the miracle couldn't happen outside of me, the prayer wasn't answered outside of me, the prayer was answered inside of me. The miracle would happen from inside of me, right? God was using me as the creator. God is the creator, but he was using me as an instrument of creation to create the miracle, right, through me. And so that's really what changed my relationship with God, because I was praying, I was begging, I was truly desperate for God to step in and help me. And I at points lost all faith in God. I lost my connection with God. I didn't believe in God anymore. I thought God had abandoned me completely forever. And I felt like a victim because I felt like God had truly abandoned me and not heard my cries. And if you haven't seen my video on the moment I realized like how I was praying wrong and how I actually could create the miracle in my own life, then go watch that. I will link that at the end of this video because it's such an important video. It was the moment that I took my own power back. But I used to pray like I was writing letters to someone who was far away from me. Like, please God out there, help me, right? I used to be saying, please God out there, do something. Please God out there, intervene. Please God out there, help me, save me. And I thought God was ignoring me. I thought he had abandoned me. But when I actually realized that God was not ignoring me, that God was not abandoning me, that God was hearing everything that I was asking for, but that I was sending the prayer outside of me. And I needed to keep the prayer and the faith deeply held within me. So when I eventually realized that God wasn't ignoring me or wasn't abandoning me, but he had given me free will, he had given me a body, he had given me a mind, he had given me a heart, and he had given me a soul in which to create miracles through me. That God wasn't outside of me, ignoring me, that God was literally inside me. And that I didn't need to pray outside of me anymore because I was the prayer. I was the prayer. And I had to stop sending the prayer away like a letter, mailing it off. And I had to open my own prayer and live it. Because that's what it means to have the faith of God inside you. And if you don't prefer to use the word God, it doesn't matter. Use the word universe, use the word source. Whatever you feel most connected to. That's what it means to have God's source within. That's what it means to be connected to God through your soul. That's what it means to be your own creator. That's what it means to have faith. We are holding the prayer within. We are literally embodiments of the prayer. The problem is that when you are suffering, when you are sick, and when you are hurting, and when your body or your symptoms are screaming, you literally feel like a victim. You feel like this is not working. And it is hard to hold faith when you feel like it is not working and everything's falling apart. It is the hardest to hold faith when your symptoms of your mind, body, heart, and soul, when they are the things that feel the furthest off course, when they are screaming at you. It is hard to connect to your soul. It's hard to connect to your heart. It's hard to connect to your body. It's hard to connect to your mind when those are the things screaming. And that's when the mind tries to take over. It tries to take over your soul. And your mind demands a solution, right? It demands a solution to the problem right now. It wants full control. It wants someone to do something. It wants a solution. And that's when you are holding on and gripping the tightest to control, really trying to fix and solve and control everything in your life, including your symptoms and your body. But the deepest healing happens when you surrender, and you can only surrender if you are holding faith within. So what it means to have faith and surrender in the moment of suffering is when you allow yourself to feel all of it, when you stop running from it, when you sit with unconditional loving presence, with the mind that's racing, the mind that's screaming at you, with the body that's in pain or suffering, with the emotions that are overwhelming and pouring out of you. When the body, mind, and heart are screaming with symptoms, sensations, and emotions and feelings that you don't want, but you stop trying to control and you stop trying to fix and you stop trying to run from, and when you just allow yourself to surrender, to just be with what is, whether it's in prayer, whether it's in meditation, whether it's just in a moment of collapse on the bathroom floor. When you say, even here, even now, I'm held, I'm worthy, I love myself, I'm here, I'm present. That's when you are in union with God, right? Through faith. That's when you become the instrument. That's when God can use you. That's when you allow everything to be there that you don't want and you let go of control. That's what it means to have real faith. And it's only when we have real faith that we can become the prayer, that we can become the miracle, that we can hear the soul speaking to us, that we can connect directly with God, and that we can access our higher power. We can access our inner wisdom, our intuition. We can access the miracles that are waiting for us, right? The miracles that God wants us to have. We can access them in stillness, in surrender, and with deep faith. So hope is everything when it comes to chronic illness, but hope is fleeting. Hope is a maybe and a wish and a prayer. And faith is a knowing. Faith is a choice, right? Faith is a decision. The decision says, even if I don't see it, even if I can't experience it, even if I don't feel it, I choose to believe it. I choose to hold it as my truth. Faith is the decision you make before you see the results. This is what spirituality is all about. This is what the teachings of Neville Goddard and Living in the End are all about. This is not new age spirituality that's separate from God or separate from religion. This is just simply a different way to think about it. Because faith says, I know who I am. I know who God is. And I know and believe that healing is already unfolding within me. I choose to believe that. I choose to hold that in deep faith, even when I can't see it yet, even when there is no evidence. And that's why New Age spirituality practices use meditation as a vehicle to faith, right? To holding this faith. It's the same thing that religions use prayer to move towards God. It's stillness, meditation, prayer. It's all getting still because faith is built in silence. Deep faith is built in the pauses, right? It's built in your stillness. It's built in your knowing. It's built when everything else stops. You let go of control. You surrender to your breath, to just being, to the moment, to God. And you stop forcing in that moment. You stop controlling. You stop trying. You stop trying to fix it and to solve it. And you just listen and you allow your soul, which God is communicating to you through, to speak. You allow yourself to hear the wisdom. And then you allow your body to move and take action that is aligned with the voice coming through you. Right? You listen to the knowing that is rising up in you, and you take action that is aligned with that knowing. And this is how God uses you as an instrument of faith itself. Faith is ancient. You are faith. You are built from faith. And so you have to practice sitting in it, resting in it, allowing in it, listening in it. You have to let it speak to you. And then faith is choosing. It's a decision to trust that knowing, to trust that wisdom coming through you, to trust that you are the miracle, that you can open enough to receive the miracle, to trust that God is already within you, to trust that everything you want is available to you, but you have to know it, mind, body, heart, and soul. You have to act in faith, mind, body, heart, and soul. So I know it's hard, especially and especially when you're in the darkness of chronic illness. I know it feels impossible to hold onto this deep faith and knowing. But when you are in the darkest times, that is truly when you're showing God, the universe, source, whether you have or you don't have the faith, right? It is easy to surrender control when everything's going well. It's really hard to surrender, to let go of control when everything is falling apart. And I'm not saying surrender to something outside of you to swoop in. I'm saying surrender to the moment, surrender to the reality of what is, to allow what is to simply be there. It's not like we sit in it forever. We move with faith, with knowing. We take action with faith and knowing. We love ourselves with a deep faith and knowing. We're there for ourselves with a deep faith and knowing. But we're present with what is and we allow it to be. And we can do this by getting still every single time. We can also recall moments and memories from the past when you did know, when you truly knew. You can embody what you know is coming right now, right? You can embody the faith, the healing now. You can visualize, you can pray, but not to something outside of you or something that might become one day, but now, but here, right? As feeling the prayer fulfilled through you right now with the faith. The faith can only move mountains in the present moment. You can listen to stories of hope and faith and healing in the healing community. You can listen to others' success stories. But remember, again, hope is something that we're praying for outside of ourselves. When you listen to those stories, you want the knowing to come inside of you. You want the wisdom to enter inside of you. This is where we hold our power. It's on the inside. This is where we hold the knowing. This is where we have the faith. This is where we can act it out. So I know it is hard. I know it's impossible. And I know it's dark. But you are not broken. You are not forgotten. And God has not abandoned you. You're not even doing it wrong, right? You're not even just praying wrong. The fact that you're still here, that you're even watching this, the fact that you keep showing up for yourself every single day and you haven't given up means there is still some part of you, right? The God source within you, the soul within you that has gotten you from where you were to here. It has taken you through all of the darkness and it has led you to this moment with some part of you still knowing, still believing, still holding on. That is the true you. That is the soul. That is God. Don't give up on that part. Nourish that part, connect with that part, love that part. Let that part grow. That is God. That is God growing within you. That is faith growing within you. Healing is absolutely possible, and healing is a choice. It is a choice similar to the choice of faith. You are not alone. You are connected to all that is, and God is inside you, and God is trying to move through you. Let God move through you. And that is a choice to believe. And you can believe that right now. You can hold on to that right now. And so, choose it. Choose to heal. Choose to have faith. Choose to allow God in. Choose to allow God to move through you. To love unconditionally yourself through you. To be present through you. To sit with yourself, right, through this. God is trying to emerge. God is trying to help you heal. God is trying to give you your miracle. The healing you want, the faith you want, lives right here inside you. And you get to choose it. You get to choose it, you get to grow it, and you get to live it. And so I hope you receive value from today's video. I am truly sending you all my love. I know that you were made to heal. And I know that having faith in yourself, in your ability to get through this, is the faith that you need to heal. And so if you want to go watch that video that I talked about, the moment that I realized why God wasn't healing me, I will link it here next. And I will see you in the next video.